This is the website we're going to create in this video, and as you'll see throughout the video, we create it very easily and quickly using the WP Travel Engine plugin and one of their themes called Travel Monster. If we scroll through here, you can see how great this website looks. If you have a travel website or you want to build one or your client wants to build one, just out of the box, the homepage has popular trips to explore, best travel deals. You can explore trips based on activities. This can all be set in the back end with custom fields, and not the custom fields plugin, mind you, but it's all built with WP Travel Engine, and you can customize pretty much everything as you'll see throughout this video. You can have testimonials from your customers in here, travel tips on a blog. If we want to use the search features up here, we can choose an activity that we like. Maybe we want a cycling trip. We can choose a price range. We can choose a destination. These would be all the destinations that include cycling. Let's choose this one. Choose a number of days. Just choose 0 to 11. Click on search. And here are all the trips that fall within the search parameters that we have. It's just one. If we wanted to change our search parameters, we can do so by clicking on the left here. There's checkboxes for destination. There's a price range widget, duration widget, activity checkboxes, trip type checkboxes, difficulty checkboxes, even more options than we had on the search on the front end. Peak season. This is actually a custom filter we created throughout this video, so you can add your own search filters, which I'm going to show you in this video. If we go into any one of these listings, you see how great they look. You can have a gallery up the top, videos, has all the information you need. And I'm going to show you how to build all of this in this video using the free version of WP Travel Engine and the WP Travel Monster theme. And then you're going to see what you can upgrade to if you need to upgrade in the future, but the free version is very capable. And I'm going to show you how capable in this video. And if you want to follow along with this video, but you don't have a hosting account for your website yet, you don't have a domain, there's a link in the description down below that will take you to this page where you can get 80% off of hosting with Siteground plus a free domain name. I've negotiated this directly with Siteground just for you, so you can take advantage. If you already have a domain name, you already have a hosting account, feel free to click the table of contents down below to jump forward in this video, and you can skip this part. But if you need hosting, this is where to get it. So once you're on this page, click on Start Now to claim the $2.99 a month plan. These prices that you see here, you can lock them in for 12 months. So the $2.99 is good for 12 months. After 12 months, it goes up to $17.99. That's for one website. The more you pay, the more websites you get and the more resources you get. And Siteground also includes a lot of stuff like speed optimization, site security, daily backups if you have one of these higher plans. Actually, no, daily backups for all the plans. And Siteground is a great host. I've been using them for years. I'm going to choose Get Plan for the $2.99. If you want to claim that discount, the 12 months is the one you want. If you go for 24 months, you'll see the price goes up. That's because it's averaging the first 12 months to $2.99, the second 12 months is $17.99, and this is the average you get. So 12 months will lock you in for the best price, although you're going to have to upgrade to the regular price once the term runs out. Costs $35. You can charge it to your credit card. After you press Pay Now and the payment's processed, you'll be in your Siteground account, which looks a lot like this. And yours look a little bit different than mine because I have my websites and services here because I've been using Siteground for a long, long time. You will probably not have those, but you will have these tabs at the top. So when you get started and you log into your Siteground account for the first time, head over to Websites, click on New Website in the top right, click on the New Domain option, click on Select, and here you can type in an idea for your domain. Let's build websites. As an example, you'd obviously type in what you want your domain name to be. And through that link in the description down below, you can get this domain name for free for the first year. So .com is taken, .nl is available, .org is available, .academy is available. If you want a .com, you're going to have to choose a different name since that one's taken. But if you're okay with a different extension, or you want a different extension, there's lots of options. In fact, every extension that's available on the internet, you can get through Siteground as well. But they do vary in price. So the first year is on me. The second year and years beyond that are going to be on you. Normally, domain names right now are about $17, $18. But this one here is $47. And that looks like a discount. This one could be $71, .berlin. These ones here have no discounts, so that'll be $35 a year, $50 a year for .camp and .blog. So just look at the prices of the domains because you don't want to get sticker shock when you have to renew in the future. Pick a domain name that you want. Click on the add button to add it to your account. Once it's there, you can then go through the rest of the steps to build the website. I'm going to choose a temporary domain for this example, and this will be it right here. And this will be the exact same steps from here on as you would have if you chose a new domain on this tab, or even if you chose the existing domain option. Click on continue when you're ready. Click on start new website. I'm going to choose WordPress. And down here we set up a login, username and password. Just going to generate a password. Didn't like the one I added. Let's copy that to make sure I have it. I'm going to click on skip and create blank website because in this video we're going to build out a brand new website from scratch. And it's going to be blank. So if you click continue, there's some more options you can add, various add-ons that Siteground gives you. I'm going to choose the blank site though, and here are other options anyway that Siteground can give you. You can skip these, you don't need them. You get weekly backups with your Siteground account, and you can back up whenever you want to by going into your Siteground account and clicking backup on the website. So you don't really need the premium backups unless you really want them. The premium CDN is for loading your content faster. When you're first starting out, you probably don't need it. There's also lots of other options that provide CDN services. You don't have to buy them through Siteground. Check my channel for more information on that. Click on finish when you're ready. And this is going to create our website. It's super quick. It's all done already. Click on go to site. Here's our newly installed site on our hosting account. And it's just a basic site with a 2024 theme installed. I'm going to show you really quickly how to clean out the demo data so we can install the Travel Monster plugin and theme and start with a clean slate. So let's log into the dashboard using whatever username and password you created when you set up the WordPress site. And then we head to, let's go to posts. We almost always have a hello world post. We can trash that and then hit in the trash and delete permanently. If we go to categories, usually we have only uncategorized. If you have other categories you want to delete, you can hover over them and press delete. Uncategorized just stays there. Under pages, we have privacy policy and sample page. Let's trash the sample page and then delete permanently. The privacy policy page is one you want to keep and complete. Currently, it has some content that's very general. You're going to want to update this with whatever content applies to you and your website and your business. Under comments, there's often one comment on the Hello World post, so you can delete that here. Under themes, we have a bunch of themes. We're going to clean this up in a minute when we delete all of them. Actually, we're going to install the Travel Monster theme and then delete all these. Under plugins, we currently have none installed. You might have Akismet installed and Hello Dolly installed when you first set up WordPress. Under users, it should just be you as the admin. And under settings and general, we can change the title of the website. I've got mine set to travel and tours. You can set a tagline, trips done for you. It's going to be our tagline for this site. You can set a site icon. I'm just going to not do that for now. If we scroll down, we have our admin email address. Make sure that's correct. We can set our time zone to whatever time zone we want. If you know the UTC, that's great. If not, you can pick cities from around the world that are correct for your time zone. Change the date format, change the time format, and choose whether your week starts on Sunday or Monday. Pretty rare for weeks to start on the other days of the week, but those options are there too. Click on Save Changes when you're done. And under permalinks, we want to set this to post name. That's best for SEO. It's also best for readability, which I'll point out later on once we have some pages created. Having just a number code is not helpful, but with post name, it'll actually say the name of the post in the URL. So that's really handy. Click on Save Changes if you change that to post name from something else. And now we have the site cleaned up and ready to go. And currently, it's just super basic. And we're going to overwrite this in a minute. This is just the default theme, the 2024 theme, and a template for that theme. Because we deleted the pages. As you saw, we have no posts and no pages. So where is all this content coming from? I'll show you really quick. Go to Appearance and then Editor. For block themes, you no longer have the menus and options like that under Appearance. You just have the editor, and this is where that content lives. Don't have to worry too much about that. So the next thing we're going to do is install the theme and the plugin. We're going to use the Travel Monster theme. It's one of the best travel themes that I've found. It's compatible with Elementor. It ticks all the boxes, and there's also a plugin that goes along with it that you can get separately inside the WordPress repo for plugins, and I'll install that. I'm going to set up the site completely for free, and then once the site's all done and set up, we're going to install the pro versions and see what the pro versions offer, or at the very least, go through all the sections and you'll see what additional stuff the pro versions can do. So let's go back into the dashboard. Let's go to Appearance and then Themes to install the Travel Monster theme. Click on Add New Theme up here. Type in Travel Monster. Install this one right here. Click on Activate. Now we have this as our active theme. I'm going to go ahead and delete the other ones because they take up space on our hard drive, on our server, and they also can introduce vulnerabilities if they become outdated and you don't update them. So now we have just our Travel Monster theme installed. That's great. And up here it shows we need some plugins installed with it. They're recommended, but they likely are required. So we're going to want to have them. The first is the demo importer that's going to get our site off the ground super fast. The Elementor website builder, which is the Elementor plugin. So we have the ability to edit these pages that it creates with Elementor. The Mega Elements add-on for Elementor, WP Travel Engine, the plugin, and WP Travel Engine add-ons for Elementor. And these are all free versions. When you're ready, click on Begin Installing Plugins. Check all of them. Select Install from Bulk Actions. Click Apply. Now we wait just a few moments for those to install. And they're all done. That was super quick. If we go to our plugins page now, we see we have a lot more than we did before, but they're all inactive. So we got to check this box to select all of them. Under bulk actions, choose activate, then apply. And we activated almost all of them. Let's click on activate Elementor. Let's do it manually. And activate WP Travel Engine add-ons. I'm avoiding the one that's showing an error because I'm hoping it'll remove itself once we've updated or activated other ones, which it did, so there's no more error. And now we have them all activated. And when we activated the WP Travel Engine booking plugin, it took us to a new tab that was created. In fact, there's 3 new tabs. There's WP Travel Engine, there's Trips, and there's Analytics. And there's also other plugins we installed that added Elementor, Elementor Templates, and Elementor Mega Elements. But first things first, we're going to import a design for our website. If we go to our website right now, here it is. Let's just refresh this page. We see we have the theme has changed, the header has changed, the footer has changed, the font has changed, but there's really nothing here yet. So we want to import demo data so that we can then, instead of starting from scratch, we have a base to start from and start working through adding all the content that we want to add, all the trips we want to add. So let's go ahead and install the template for the demo site. So back in the dashboard, if we go to Appearance and then go to Demo Importer Plus, this is one of the plugins we installed. You see it right there at the very top. This is one of those required ones that were installed. And we see all the available templates. There are lots. The ones labeled Pro require a paid license for the theme. And there are way more pros than there are the free, which is just the one we're doing today. But if you want to check out the Pro ones, you can preview any of them by clicking on the preview button, and you can see the full layout. These are pretty cool with the routed images. Nice little icons. So you can go through and check out the previews for any of those Pro versions. If you want to upgrade to the Pro version, there's a link in the description down below. That's going to take you to the page where you can get the Pro version. It is an affiliate link, so if you end up clicking through there and buying, I get a commission for that, but it does not make it more expensive for you. It just helps me keep making these videos for free on YouTube. And we'll talk more about what the Pro versions offer after we've done the free version of this website build. And it also shows in brackets whether it's compatible with Elementor. And as you can see, pretty much, no, every single one is compatible with Elementor. So that's pretty slick. Click on Import when you're ready. It takes you to this page. It shows you the pages you're going to import. And you're also going to import a whole lot more because you're importing all the trips and destinations and activities and everything. So you can really see a built out site, and it helps you build your own. Click on Import Complete Site right here. You can also just import the home page if you want, but we want to do the whole thing. So let's click on Import Complete Site. Yes, I want to proceed. This is warning you it's going to overwrite everything that you have as far as existing content goes on your site. So you may or may not want to do that, but that's what's going to happen. Click on I want to proceed when you're ready. Checking the demo server connection. We are good to go. Click on Continue. Here it shows what's required to make this go smoothly. We've got to check for all of them, so we should be good to go. If some of these are not check marks. They'll probably be X's. You can manipulate some of these. And I've got videos on how to increase the memory limit, and I believe how to increase the max upload file size. And in the same file, you can change these as well, where I edit those two. So I'll link to that video in the card up above, and I'll put it in the description down below. I think the card for sure though. And then you can increase these if you need to. Click on Import Demo Content Now. Here it shows the plugins that are required for the site. I don't know if we installed Contact Form 7 with that auto install earlier. We definitely got all of those for sure. Anyway, Contact Form 7 will be installed if it's not. Click on Continue. If we have this box checked, it imports the customizer settings, which we want to do. We want to import the widget, so keep that checked. We want to import the content, so keep that checked. You can delete a previously imported site. That's not relevant to us because we didn't import one previously. If you had the Pro version and you're trying out all the different themes, all the different templates that you saw earlier, then you want to check this. You want to delete the previous import. Click on Continue when you are ready. Now it's happening. We have import logs here. It shows us a time-stamped list of what it's doing. I'm just going to pause this video and be back when this is all done. Should only take a minute or two. The demo site is installed. I think that took about 5 or 6 minutes. And here it says the images used in the demo are free for personal use. So make sure you use your own images or royalty-free images and not the ones that you import here if you are going to commercialize the site. Let's click on View Website to see how it looks. That's legit. That's what we were looking for. The only thing, not a big deal, but the logo up here is a little bit blurry. That's not Travel Monster's fault per se. It's because I'm using a 5K screen and that's not a high enough resolution logo for that. But it's got everything here. Super nice layout, super clean. So that's nice. But this is not ours yet. This is the demo. So let's make this ours. If we head back into the dashboard and refresh, just to make sure we have all the latest data, we then go to trips and we see a bunch of different categories here, a bunch of different things to do. There is a specific order that you should do it in. So trips, if we go to the front end, let's look at the trips. So here we have popular trips, Mount Everest Base Camp, Trek to Mount Everest. So let's click on that to see the trip information. So this is 7 days. Here's the price for an adult and a child. We are using various modes of transportation, staying in hotels, all this information about the activity itself, maximum minimum age, language, meals, whether they're included or not. We have an overview. We have an itinerary. So each day it walks through or explains what the goal is for that day. This is a trip to Mount Everest, so stuff happens. Might be a blizzard on day one. Might not be able to get to do day one, but you get what I mean. You set up the itinerary. You add the cost information. The cost is not the price. We saw the price up here. Rather, the cost in this tab is what is included, what is not included with the cost, which is something travelers would want to know. And then we also have FAQs. You don't have to scroll up every time to get back to these. I just want to show you what happens when you click on them. You actually scroll down and they're all listed. As you see, map comes next, which was the next tab at the top. So for FAQs, if you click on expand all, it expands all the FAQs, so you don't have to click plus on each individual one. But you can add as many FAQs as you want. You add as many points on the map as you want. There's a form right here where people can send the inquiry to you and look into booking that trip. You can check availability. We'll get to this kind of stuff later on. First, we want to be able to build out these trips, which are composed of all these separate components. So the trip is our final destination as far as what we're building. We first have to add destinations, then activities, then trip types, if there aren't any on your site yet, difficulties and tags, and pricing categories. And all those things have to be created before you can create a trip. Does that make sense? I hope so. Because the trip is kind of like the amalgamation of everything we're doing. Because the trip is what people are booking. We got to build out all the components of that first. So let's start with destinations. We see a bunch already in because of the demo data that we installed. And to add more is super simple. All you got to do is add a name. Let's call this one Canada. That's where I am. For the slug, it's going to have lowercase Canada, and the slug, just so you can visualize what that means. If we choose a destination, let's choose France. We see up here in the URL, lowercase France. That is the slug. That is what we enter right here. If this is part of a parent destination, for example, if you're traveling to Ontario, which is inside of Canada, and you're creating Ontario as a destination, you'd have Canada as the parent, just so it's logically organized on the front end. Or if you're traveling to different states in the US, or if you're traveling to different provinces or subsections or capital cities in whatever country that you're adding here. For the description, we're going to add in a quick trip around Canada, which is kind of funny because there are no quick trips that go all the way around Canada. It's a pretty big place. I'm going to add that for the short description as well. I'm going to add an image. See what's in the media library. There's some mountains here. We have mountains in Canada. Let's add that. Even some snow. Good. Click on Add New Destination. I don't know why there's an S. That should be singular since we're only adding one at a time. And then we can add more and more, as many as you want, to fill out the destinations of whatever you're creating for your travel site. So we have Canada up here. We can click on Edit to make any changes we need. It's the same content as the form we filled out a moment ago, but you can just edit it here if you need to edit it. And again, add as many destinations as you need. Under Activities, it's the same idea. It's pretty much the exact same form. So I'm not going to fill it out again because you get the idea. You add the name, you add the slug. If it's a parent or a child to a parent activity, you add that in here. Description, image, short description, and then click Add New. And we have activities already laid out on the right. Sweet. Super simple to do. For trip type, we have another form. Same idea. I'm not going to fill in this form because it's the exact same method as before. If you want a quick refresher, just rewind the video and you can watch that part again. And we have a bunch already entered here. And this is because we imported the demo data. Under difficulty, it's the same idea, exact same form as well, except we don't add an image, we can add an icon instead. And we have categories pre-built, easy, extreme, hard, medium. And even if you delete most of the demo data, some of it I'm sure you can save. I don't see why you couldn't save these difficulty ratings here. Under tag, we have tags, group tours, guided tours, private tours. You can add any other kind of tag you want. You can also create more categories over here by clicking on custom filters. We could add, for example, peak season. For the slug, peak-season. We'll keep this box checked, so it's going to add it as a default WordPress category. If you uncheck this, it's going to be more of a tag. Tags are more disorganized. Categories have a hierarchical structure where you can have parents and children. You can't do that with tags. I'm going to keep that checked. Show and filters, I'm going to keep checked. I'm going to click on Add New Filter, and we see the new option right there. And a lot of people want to know what the peak season is, where they're going. And so we're going to be able to add the peak season to our trips and to our destinations. Let's add the 4 seasons. Summer. I'm not going to add a description. People know what summer is. Or maybe not. Where I'm from, we have 4 seasons. Some places only have 1 season. Others have 2. Others have 6. But I'm going to go with the North American seasons because that's where I'm from. Boom. All the seasons are in. And you can add as many custom filters as you want too. You might not be able to think of specific custom filters that you want right now as you're just starting out, but you might be able to think of some later on. You can easily add them in and add them to your destinations and trips in the future. For pricing categories, it's the same idea. You've become very familiar with this form over here by now. There are some extra options here. There's no image option for one. You can have a primary pricing category, so one that's auto-selected, and you can add an age group. So if I wanted to add a new one called seniors, I don't think we need a description for that. Maybe we do. Anyone over 60, age group 60 plus. I'm going to set this as primary. It's probably pretty uncommon to have seniors as the primary category, so I'm going to change that. I imagine cruise websites and cruise trip sites would have seniors as the default. I want to put the adults as the primary. There we go. And now we have everything we need to create a trip. We're relying on a bunch of the demo data, of course. So when you're building out your site, you're going to be adding your own activities, trip type, difficulty, all those things we saw. And then we can go to add new under trips. In fact, first let's go to trips in general, and we'll see the trips that we saw on the front end. We looked at, I believe it was this one. No, it was this one, Everest Base Camp. And it shows you all the trips here. You can edit them at any time, do whatever you need to. And all the things we create when we click on add new under trips, you'll be able to edit in these post types here. Click on add new to add a new trip. I'm going to call this trip a quick trip around the world. I'm going to not add a block in there just yet, maybe ever. Down below, we see a lot of settings that will go into creating this trip. And we've got to go through each one of these items on the left to make sure we have everything we need. So first of all, we have the trip code. This can be edited to whatever you need. If you have SKUs in your brick and mortar business, say you want to link up to this trip, or if you have some other way of organizing, you can add the trip code right here. You can change the duration. You can have days and hours and nights. I'm going to say 7 days, 6 nights. You can enable the cutoff time if you need to. This is the time in days before the trip that bookings need to stop. So you can add in here 7 days. Maybe you need all bookings to come in 7 days before the trip actually happens. You can set a minimum age and a maximum age. Make the minimum 18, the maximum 25. Pretty small range, but that's okay. Set minimum and maximum participants. Maybe you want to have multiple people. Maybe you just want to have one person. Maybe only one person can book this trip. Whatever you set here is up to you. Next, we go to date and price. Here we can add packages. Before we do, whenever you see this blue box, that's part of the paid license and add-ons you can add when you have the paid license for either the theme or the plugin. Click on add new package when you're ready. I'm going to call the first package the bronze package for adult. The US dollar pricing for this one is $1,000 per person, no sale prices. You can have the min packs is the minimum number of people that need to book this adult price at $1,000 for this trip. So I'm going to add the min as 1 and the max as infinity because, as you recall, I set the age to be 18 to 25. So we're not going to have any children. We're not going to have any seniors just because we want adults only for this trip. And if you need to have 5 adults book the trip when they're booking this package, so it'd be like a group of 5 people that assemble themselves outside of your control, and they'd all need to book this. You can also have group bookings, which would allow you to book as many people as you want, all individually. They don't have to coordinate. You coordinate after all the bookings are in. I hope that made sense. So once we have all these settings set, you can click on add new package to add another one. I'm going to add the silver package. This one's going to cost $2,000. Min 1 person. Going to add the gold package too. Why not? Gold package. This one's $5,000. Need 10 people to book that. So 10 people who are going to be paying $5,000 each to book that. I'm going to click on save draft because we worked through 2 sections already. I save my work a lot as I work through stuff. Let's go to overview. Here we add information about the trip. For the section title, I'm going to write where this experience will take you. For the description, all around the world. For your site, the more detailed you can be, the more information you can give, the better. For the trip highlights, the section title, I'm just going to call it highlights, if I could spell it right. Add trip highlight. It's going to be mountains. There's going to be towers. There's going to be trees. And it's going to be ocean on a trip around the world. So you can add as many highlights as you want to the trip. Let's save draft because we're at the end of the overview. On the itinerary tab, we set the itinerary. Itinerary is going to be the section title. We can add as many fields as we want. This blue box is showing us we can add more fancy stuff with the Pro license down here as well. Let's click on this a bunch of times. So we're going for 6 days and 7 nights. So I'm just going to call this day 1. For the description, I'm going to write, we are experiencing the world with an exclamation. And you will want to describe these sections as best you can. The more descriptive you are, the more useful it is for your prospective customers. When you have that all filled out, save it, On the includes and excludes tab, we can set what's included in the cost and what isn't. I'm going to call this the section title, what's included and what's not. Cost includes, so I'm going to use for this title. I'm going to write in here airfare, hotel, awesome experiences. For cost excludes, I'm going to write in here meals, hotel towels, as in you can't just take the towels, they're not free, and clothing. Good. Save draft. Under the trip info tab, we can add trip information. To help you visualize what that means, let's go back to that trip we saw earlier. This is the trip info right here. So it's basically a quick look at all the stuff that's included in the trip. I'm going to call this trip info. The suggested titles that are filled into this field here, they're pretty good. I've kept most of them as that. Trip info selection, let's go for transportation. I'm going to put planes, trains, and automobiles. Seems like that's what you need to get around the world. And bonus points, if you know what this is in reference to. For maximum altitude, let's add that. I'm going to say 3,000 feet. 3,000. There we go. For best season, summer. Oops. For language, everyone, because we're going around the world. Permits, local visas, required. You get the idea. We can add all of these facts that we see here with this demo import, or maybe with the default theme as well without importing demo. It has all these trip facts here, and the trip facts drop down here might not have all the things that you want, or it might have more than you need to. So we can edit this list by going to our WordPress dashboard and then hovering over WP Travel Engine, clicking on settings, then go to trip info under the general tab. And here we have the drop down basically of all those facts that we can add. And if we go down to the very bottom of this first list, we can click on add trip info. And we could add, for example, required footwear. Let's see if we can find an icon for shoes. Yeah, it's not bad. Choose input type. We can choose text, number, select area, or duration. I'm going to say text. And I'm going to say what type of footwear is required. And then save in the bottom right. And now if I come back into here, save draft again, just to make sure I'm saving my work, refresh this page. And now under trip info, once it's refreshed, we should have a new option. Wait for it. Waiting a long time. Page is refreshed. Did I really not add the D at the end of that? Anyway, trip info, just drop down here. Required footwear is now added. Let's add that fact. We've got a little Q, what we should enter here, what type of footwear is required. You can type in here army boots, save draft, and now we've added a new type of trip info. And you can also remove things from the trip info drop down. The one we created, easily removed by pressing this little garbage can here. The other ones you can turn on and off by using this toggle here, or the garbage can, just depends on what is shown on the side. And you can also move them around. You can drag and drop them. For example, my required footwear, the new one was at the very bottom of the drop down. By moving it up, I've now moved it up to the fourth last spot in the drop down. Click on Save Draft to make sure we save our work. Let's go to the gallery. We're going to enable the image gallery, and we'll maybe add a video too. So let's add some images. Just going to pick some nice ones from around the world, because that's where we're going, around the world. You got to do one at a time. Okay, let's do this one, and then this one. And one more. That one looks pretty cool. There we go. Images are in. For the video gallery, we can add YouTube or Vimeo video URLs. And we paste the link in there, click on add video. This is the video from my channel. If you want fast websites, which you do, you should check out that video. If you add videos here you want to remove, just hover over them, click the garbage can. Same goes for images. And you can click on the change button to change the image, or the garbage can to delete. And we can drag and drop these to reorder them as well. Click on Save Draft to save your work. On the Map tab, we can, you guessed it, add a map. I'm going to call this Map. You can upload an image to a map, or you can upload iframe code, which I believe we can get from Google Maps. Let's take a look. Go to maps.google.com. So I just realized that our map for around the world is going to be tough to do because it's just going to be a map of the whole world. So instead, I'm just going to use a map of Paris. Hopefully your trip is going to be a little more localized. Once you've picked your map area, click on the share button, click on embed a map, click on copy HTML, go back to your site, paste that code in that you just copied, and click on Save Draft. And that should do it. I'm going to look at the preview right now. Ooh, that image is nicely pixelated. So that map should be pulled in. Yeah, there it is. Look at that. It worked. I just wanted to check that really quick. We're going to look over the page, the trip we created in more detail once we're done this. Let's go to the FAQs tab. Here we add FAQs. And FAQs are usually in the format of, let's call this FAQs. They're usually in the format of questions. So question 1 and then answer 1. Question 2, answer 2. You get the idea. You can add as many FAQs as you want. Again, the more information you can provide your travelers, the more likely it is they'll book a trip, and the less likely it is they're going to reach out to you to answer the questions because you're going to have all the questions answered. Click on Save Draft after you've added all your FAQs. For file downloads, this is part of the Pro version, but you can have downloadable files such as brochures, guidebooks, offline maps, and various other things that people can download right from the listing. Extra services is also a Pro feature. You can add additional services such as a supplementary room, hotel upgrade, airport pickup and drop off, maybe pet-friendly hotel rooms, things like that. You can add as extra services if you have the Pro version. And the shortcodes allow you to display various things wherever shortcodes are allowed or directly in template files using PHP. So this first one here is trip info. You can put this into posts, pages, tabs. Not sure what tabs are. This you can put in templates for the PHP. You've got a shortcode for the video gallery. You've got a shortcode for the map and PHP for the map. And I know it seems like that's probably all we have to do, but it's not. Those are just the general settings for the trip. Well, I guess specific settings too. But what we haven't done yet is on the right-hand side of this page, we can set the destination, the activities, the trip type, the difficulty, the tag, the peak season. So let's do that. Under destinations, we're going all around the world. So let's pick a whole bunch. You pick whatever destinations are relevant to this trip that you're building here. For activities, we're going to do it all. Well, maybe not all. All those. You can add new activities by clicking here. You can add new destinations by clicking here. Let's do that actually. So here you can only add the destination name and whether it's the child of something. If you recall, when we added destinations through the destinations panel, I'll show you really quick. Under trips and then destinations, we have more information we can add, including the slug, description, the image, or an image, and a short description. So you can be more thorough here, but you can quickly add them over here if you want. It'll be added to this list on the destinations page where you can then edit it and add that information that's missing. For a trip type, I'm going to choose dog friendly, child, nope, not child friendly, because it's 18 to 25. Nature friendly, high altitude, looks good. Difficulty is going to be extreme and hard. For tags, I'm not going to add any. This appears to be the default tag functionality for WordPress. Under peak season, which you recall is a custom filter that we added earlier in the video, I'm going to choose summer and winter. This will give people an indication of when this trip would be the busiest. So if they want to do stuff off peak, they choose fall and spring. Now we're done, or at least so far. Let's click on publish 2 times and then click on view trip, and that takes us to our trip. There's our heavily pixelated image at the top. This one's much better. So make sure you choose large, good looking, optimized images for web. Those all look, that one's pixelated. So is that one. Some of these are okay. And those images are the gallery. And for video, we've got our video here. The one you should watch if you want to speed up your site. 38 minutes of high quality site speed. So let's check out some more of our trip. We have the title here, quick trip around the world, the number of days right up here, the trip info that we added, the price that we added. I recall we added packages. Let's see if we can find a way to book separate packages. Where this experience will take you, the highlights, take us all around the world. It's got the highlights, all these links here. As we saw earlier, you click on them, it'll take you to the section. I'm just going to scroll down. You'll have to come up and click them every time. There's our itinerary for the different days. So what I see here is, here we have day 05 and then day 5. We don't need to do it that way. I don't need to add day 5. So if you go back into the settings here to itinerary, that's the day name right there. So this should have the title of the day, or the biggest highlight of the day you're going to see that day, or something like that. What's included and what's not. That's pretty cool. Our FAQs and our map and our inquiry form. On the right hand side, we have a widget with all the trip info again, and featured trips. These are other trips that we did not create here. These were created with the demo content. Now, how do we choose our packages? Let's click on check availability. There's our package, the bronze package. That's 27th, 28th. Continue. Here's where we choose our packages. So we have the bronze package, $1,000 per person. Take as many people as you want. Silver package, $2,000 per person. Take as many people as you want. Gold package, $5,000 per person. Need a minimum of 10 people, which adds up to $50K. So we have our packages as displayed as we set up. If we proceed to checkout, I don't have a $50K limit on my credit card, so I'm not going to fill this out and charge it to my credit card. But this is the checkout form here. We can book now, pay later, use PayPal, use bank transfer. That's what I have to do in this case because no $50K limit on my credit card. We can also do check, and then you can book. Pretty sweet. And we're going to order this package right here so we can see on the back end how that looks when a package is ordered. I chose book now, pay later for obvious reasons. I'm going to click on book now to book it and get to a thank you page. Starts off with a booking ID. So if someone calls in for customer support or emails, this is the booking ID you'd look up on the back end. And there's also a trip number ID. This is probably the trip number itself. If we edit this trip, there it is, 6165. So that's the WordPress post ID is this one right here. Not super important for customer support, but it's handy, I guess, to know what that is. The trip code is the code that was auto-entered that we could change when we built the trip. And then all the rest of the information makes a lot of sense intuitively. So let's hop into the WordPress dashboard to see what information we can see about this order. If we go to Travel Engine and then Bookings, we should have a booking here. And there it is. 4 minutes ago, status is pending because I chose the book now, pay later option. So the pending meaning I haven't paid yet. In fact, there's a total paid column as well, and a total amount paid field here. Gives us all the detail we need. You can also edit every one of these sections. Well, not the trip info, but you can edit the payment details and the billing details in cases of customer support inquiries and what have you. You can change the booking status to booked, refunded, canceled, and NA. So if someone comes and books with you in person, you can come in and update the booking amount. Let's just do that just for fun. Pretend I paid the 50 G's for this trip. And update. Got the 50 in there. I should change the booking from pending to booked. Update that. And now I've got a booked status here. Inquiries. This is when an email is filled out, or a form. So on every trip page at the very bottom, we've seen this form a few times throughout the video. This is what inquiry would be. So I fill out this form really quick, sent the email, and now if I refresh in here, there it is. And there's the information that the form just collected. And now I can email them back and answer whatever question they have in this inquiry. Customer shows a list of customers. These are people who have bought. The coupons, allow you to create coupons. Maybe you want a Christmas coupon or Halloween coupon or Thanksgiving coupon or a coupon. This is the coupon code. That's a super long one. This is a nice easy one that people can probably guess even. I'll take the percent out. So 10 off would be 10% off. have it fixed or a percentage. Let's make this a percent, maybe 10%. We have a start date and end date for the coupon. We can allow coupons for only specific trips if you want to. And you have a limit, a usage limit for the coupons. Maybe it can only be used 5 times. It can only be used on this trip right here. Click on publish. Now we've got a new coupon for 10% off on starting date here, no ending date, but we do have a usage limit of 5 and it only works on this trip. So that's pretty cool how you can define all those things for the coupon. Then we have the license tab. Currently, everything we've done is in the free version. You can build out a completely robust travel website with just the free version, which is pretty awesome. Under settings, there's a lot of settings to go through. You can customize pretty much every single thing about this plugin, theme, and how it displays on the front end of your website. And a lot of these are pretty self-explanatory. If not, they have a good explanation for them right here. So I'm not going to go through every single one. I'm just going to point out some highlights. The trip tabs settings, you might recognize these from a trip. Let's go to this trip right here. And we see these tabs here, overview, itinerary, cost, FAQs, and map. You can rearrange those right here. So let's put map to the top and then save. And then refresh out here and map is now the first one. So you can rearrange those tabs right here. Map does not look good as the first one, so I'm going to put it back to the last one. You can also turn them off and on if you want. You can add icons if you want. Let's put that one for the overview. This one for the itinerary. Clearly these icons don't represent what it actually is, but you get the idea. You can pick whatever icons you want. Come back out here and refresh, and we have icons, which makes it much more fun. Although it could be icon overload, because you have icons up here, icons here, icons here. That's why it might default to not having icons. We have to add them in manually if you want them. Trip info tab, we saw this already, where we can add custom fields right here. On the emails tab, this is all about emails that are sent out both to you and the customer. And everything's explained as well as it could be probably. There's a lot of template tags here that allow you to customize emails, and the emails are already pre-written and pre-populated. You don't have to do anything in here if you don't want to, but you can come in and customize all of it. The customer email templates, these blue boxes mean we're able to customize these with a paid add-on. This one's called Email Customizer, and then the per trip email is another extension. We'll take a look at the extensions in just a bit. Those are not required to send emails to customers. This helps you customize them even more. Here's the email to the customer with the free version of the plugin. All the settings you need. The inquiry emails you can customize in here. You can send test emails to make sure everything's working. On the display tab, we can turn on and off various sections in various parts of the website. So the trip card / listing, we can turn, everything has a toggle on and off, so it just doesn't display on the front end. Also show the trip duration as days or nights, or days and nights. And that trip duration is this one right up here, in case you didn't see that. And on the single trip tab, we can customize various layout options. We can change the pricing widget for smaller devices. I'm just going to keep it on the default one. Trip archive, we can customize lots of things. On the miscellaneous tab, we can change our currency settings, change our display settings, change miscellaneous settings, and they're all clearly explained. On the payments tab, we can customize all our payments information. For default gateways, we have all of these available to us. And again, this is all the free version. The paid version adds even more capability. The dashboard, we can display and not display all kinds of things. On the extension tab, you can hide various things that the extensions add to your website. Under performance, we have optimized loading and lazy loading. You can turn those on if you want to. Probably a good idea since it helps your site go faster. And that is all the settings. On the analytics tab, we can see various analytics based on what's happening on the website. So I was messing around a bit and I made 2 bookings. That's why the booking value is 100,000. Payment received is 50. So we have 2 bookings made. I only paid for one of them. And so that's why there's a discrepancy there. But this should say 2 bookings right here. 1 customer. It shows which trips are booked. It shows the destinations breakdown based on what's in the trip. It shows the activities breakdown. trip types, customer information, and feature request allows you to request a feature from the plugin creators. So that's the analytics tab, helping you analyze the data from people booking on your site. So now we've seen how to set up the site, how to create a trip, how to book a trip, and all the settings in the back end, and how to analyze the data from your trip. What if you want to edit what a page looks like? We have this layout that's created for us that's super nice, but maybe we want to change it a little bit. If we go to the home page, or any page, I'm just going to go to the home page, and click on Edit with Elementor, if it does not show Edit with Elementor, you can go into your dashboard. The reason I bring this up is I had this happen to me. You can edit any of the pages here. Even if it doesn't show Elementor at the top of the page on the front end, it's going to show it here on the back end. Click on Edit with Elementor in either of those places, and you're going to be taken into the Elementor editor. And this is the free version of Elementor. That's why we have this notification at the bottom asking us to upgrade. And we can edit to our heart's content using Elementor, because this page is built with that. And there's even a travel engine section inside Elementor with its own widgets. So if I minimize all these or scroll down, minimizing is just easier sometimes, we have a whole ton of widgets we can add to our website, both for WP Travel Engine and WP Travel Engine single trip. So this is the first one's more general. The second one is specific to a single trip. And then the Mega Elements add-ons for Elementor. That's another add-on we installed when we installed this theme and plugin to make it work better. And if we take a look at some of these, let's scroll to the very bottom of the page. Let's put the trips widget in there. It pulls in trips. We didn't add a picture to ours here, so it doesn't show a picture. Just like any native Elementor widget, we can edit a lot of things, edit how it appears, and they all look really good. Edit the number of columns. Let's have 4 columns. That looks good. Let's make it 7 columns. A little squishy for 7 columns. Doesn't want to do that. Let's make it 5. Nope, 4. 4 appears to be the sweet spot. 2 looks good too. So you customize that however you want. And we have different layouts to choose from. The layout 1, layout 2, 3, 4, and 5. All showing different types and different positions for the information. The query allows us to choose which trips are being shown here. We can choose by these options for the query. You can also choose specific ones from a list. You can show a specific number of trips. Under additional, we can choose which information to display here and which not. There's a lot of options. And all of the widgets, I can't say all of them, but many of the widgets we have here have this number of options and this level of customization. This is the Advanced Trips 1 widget. Looks pretty similar, but it's different. Has these icons here. It shows more information on the front. The best thing you can do is build a website, throw the WP Travel Engine plugin on there, pick a theme, and just start adding different widgets and figuring out which ones you like the best. There's a lot of options. If you're creating a single trip page, you can add all these widgets. I don't know if it'll work on the home page. Looks like this is a Pro extension for that one. These might all be Pro extensions. Nope, that one's not. So just put them on and see what is created, and you can easily create great looking travel websites and customize them to your heart's content with these widgets plus Elementor. And if you want to extend your functionality, the best thing you can do is get the Pro version. To get the Pro version, all you have to do is click the link in the description down below. It'll take you to this page. On the pricing page, you'll see how much it costs. For $9 a month, you can start with one site. Mind you, everything we've done up until now has been the free version. So this $9 a month adds more functionality in the form of user experience, a little bit of marketing, no upselling, a little bit of lead capture, a little bit of conversion, no automation, no travel themes, and a little bit of additional perks down here. And the higher you go in the payment amount per month, the more you get. And what are these things that you're getting? The advanced itinerary builder, the form editor, the currency converter. What are those things? If we go back to the home page and go to add-ons and click on all add-ons or go to a subcategory, we can scroll through and see what all the add-ons do on the website. And depending on what kind of trips or services you're building for your travel website, these could be perfect for you or you might not need them. The free version might be just fine. The extra services one is pretty good. You can add on extra services like airport pickup, hotel drop-off, collecting your bags for you from the airport, so you can take a cab and go home, and then you get the bags. Things like that. Free meals. Who knows? It's up to your imagination what you add. There's a lot of different add-ons. And if you like some of these, but you want more information, click on the View Details button. There's a dedicated page with more information, often including a video, and it'll explain everything you need to know for that add-on. You can also view the documentation if you need to before you even purchase it. And there's lots and lots of add-ons. If I were to go through these add-ons, this video would be 5 hours long. So I'm not going to go through these add-ons, but you're able to come here and check them out on these pages, and trying them out is really inexpensive. Starting at $9 a month. You got to pay for it annually, but it's $9 a month. I can't see a monthly button anywhere, so it must be only annual. And you also get a 14-day money-back guarantee. That should be enough time if you focus to try out all the different add-ons and see if they work for what you need. I highly encourage you to come and check out WP Travel Engine, because if you're building a travel website, this is the best plugin and theme combination you can find. The free version does a whole heck of a lot. You can have your whole business running just on the free version. And then if you're growing and you want to add more features, you can come and check out the paid version. So I highly encourage you to check out WP Travel Engine if you're building a travel website. I hope you got value from this video. If you did, let me know by liking and subscribing and leaving a comment down below. And next up, check out this video up here, which is going to help you make your site lightning fast so it loads faster, has happier customers, and hopefully gets ranked in Google search. My name is Bjorn from WP Learning Lab. Till next time, keep crushing it, and I will see you in the next video.